Hello, this is the host of Show with No Name, and we also got Jeff here again.
Hello.
Yeah, we are going to be doing 2 videos, and we're just going to be talking about our top 10 favorite anime. Now, for me, it's not going to be like a normal video, and for a more complete thing, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for like an official video about it, but that's for later. For now, we're going to listen to Jeff's top 10. Actually, it's top 11, but there's a reason for it being top 11. Alright, so let's get started. By the way, if the other person has problems with the shows that's on the list, we're allowed to speak up about it, as long as we're not just, like, rude about it. Okay, let's go.
Number 11, Steins Gate.
So, what exactly about Steins Gate do you love so much?
I like how it started out so goofy and so stupid, and then it just got really serious really quickly. It kind of pulled like a Madoka Magica, kind of. Maybe not to the same degree. And you ended up rooting for the main character to have everything work out in the end, because it was a very compelling story, a very interesting story. I enjoyed it very much, and I thought that the special and the movie that came afterwards did a very nice job at wrapping it up. That was my phone. I'm so sorry.
He loves Mind Turtle so much. Well, while he's checking his phone, I would say that I also love Steins Gate a lot. It's a very good example of a time travel story done right. It has a set of rules, and it follows its own rules, and there's a lot about it. Like, when they try to change things, it's amazing how many lives one life can touch, and how much the butterfly effect really does, like what it can do.
I will also say I am not a fan of time travel when it's done incorrectly. If you don't make time travel work for me, I don't like it. I don't watch it. I don't deal with it. But since time travel was done correctly in Steins Gate, it worked out very well. I do appreciate that.
Yeah. So anything else to say about Steins Gate?
Favorite character? Okabe.
Yeah, played in Japanese by Mamoru Miyano, and in English...
He was Mamoru Miyano?
Yes, he was. Why do I know that and you don't?
Good for him.
And in English by J. Michael Tatum. And I haven't seen the subtitle, but in the dub, that's one of J. Michael Tatum's best performances. Very good, and also great with Trina Nishimura and Ashley Birch.
I don't know any of the other voice actors, but that's surprising to me that it was Mamoru Miyano.
Yeah.
Good for him. Alright, and number 10 is Killa Kill.
I have not seen Killa Kill. I am planning on seeing it.
It's a very good anime. It's a very fun anime. It has some great characters in it, and it's just very goofy. It doesn't take itself very seriously, which I enjoy.
I heard that's like a parody of things like harem or ecchi.
I believe it is meant to highlight the absurdity and intensity of harem animes, because the main girl characters are running around pretty much naked, because that's the powers of their clothing that they wear. And I think it did its job very well. It highlighted kind of the absurdity of that, and it painted this big life lesson that people learn, is that when you do something exceptional, when you need to do something exceptional, you have to go outside of your comfort zone. And so the main character, Ryuko, she learned that to save the world, she needed to be able to be okay with herself and to go outside of what she knew to do what needed to be done. And you can look at that through any amount of lenses that you want. I know that there's a very large group of people that look through it through a very different lens. And I think it's what you make out of it. So I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm planning on seeing it. I heard it was funny.
It was funny. Alright, number 9 would be Free. But the careful viewer may note that we have talked to death about Free. If I haven't convinced you to watch Free yet, you're not going to.
Yeah, if neither of us have made you want to watch Free, there's no point in us continuing.
So just know Free would be here. But we're going to move on to number 8, which is Mirai Nikki, Future Diary. I know that we have very differing opinions on this one.
You say your piece about the show first.
I thought it was such a compelling, rich, psychologically traumatizing story. I watched the whole show. I couldn't put it down. I actually skipped a couple of classes so I could just keep watching. It was gripping. It was awful. It was just so intense. And for those of you that have seen it, I think there exists a very big dichotomy in between how people view Yuno. I
feel like actually a majority of the people like Yuno.
Not in my experience, but I think that there's a tendency to either view Yuno as a tragic victim or just a crazy bitch. Like, I think there really is no middle ground when it comes to looking at Yuno and how she deals with the world. And I think I saw her as a victim of circumstance, because you see where her insanity comes from, and it's not a pretty place. And you see stuff, all these things that she had to go through as a child, and you see the pain and just confusion and sadness and awfulness, just everything. And I grew to really sympathize for her and to feel really sorry for her. And in the end, when Yuki realizes that he does love her, not the her that is crazy, but the her that she truly is, I think that was a really, really good storytelling. And in the OVA, when they do finally reconcile the fact that the real Yuno and the real Yuki can be together for all eternity, that was just so cute. Like, A+, you win. Like, slow clap it out. That was great. I was so happy. Because they end the series with Yuki crying for all eternity because he can't be with the woman he loves. And then in the OVA, they fixed that. And I thought that was brilliant. Very well done. And it's a very intense show, and I know you feel differently because we have talked about this.
I've been biting my tongue for the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my take on Future Diary. I think it's a very good story, if kind of problematic at some points when it comes to the rules of the game. One of my things is that if the Future Diaries can be changed at any given point, that makes the fact that you have something that tells the future mean so much less. But my biggest problem in all of Future Diary, the thing that really stops me from enjoying it as much as I could, is that I hate the two main characters so much. Yukiteru is a wimp. He does nothing, and but he acts all like high and mighty and righteous a lot. But that is so small potatoes compared to Yuno. And I have to say, Yuno is one of my least favorite characters of all time. And here's the thing. I saw the entire show, except for the OVA, but the OVA isn't relevant to what the point I'm about to make. I've seen everything that Yuno has been through. And I think it says a lot that not once did I ever actually feel sorry for her. When you consider that all the things that she does, all the people she kills, all the things, just for a guy who, at the beginning at least, doesn't even like her back. And I feel like there are ways to handle...
I don't think that the point was not for you to get to a place where you thought that her killing was okay.
I know that.
The point that they were trying to make was that it takes a lot for someone to sink so low to kill someone. Because it's not our natural state to want to kill things.
I just felt like it was a very tall order for me to feel sorry for her.
I disagree.
And feel happy.
I felt for her, man. This show screwed me up. This show got me thinking deep for like ever. It for like a good 3 or 4 days. I was just so wrapped up in this whole concept, and I was just like, wow, man, this is really deep. This is really heavy.
And here's the thing. By the end, when Yuki ended up becoming just as reprehensible a person as Yuno, and if he's willing to cry for all of eternity, the tens of thousands of years over Yuno dying, then he's just as insane as Yuno is. They are perfect for each other. And sad to say, this coupled with CL Phantom Hide probably means that I'm never going to be able to fully like Brina Palencia, even though she's really talented.
I think you are lacking a serious just ability to empathize with other human beings.
Well, that might change when I discuss some of my picks.
Mm-hmm. By the way, favorite character in this one, Akise Aru.
My favorite character in this one is the Bomber Girl. Number 9, I believe?
Number 9?
Yeah, I really liked her. I really love her voice actor, Emily Neves. I thought she was a great character. She was my favorite in the entire show.
And I forgot to mention this for Killa Kill. Favorite character in Killa Kill is Sanagiyama.
Okay.
Number 7, No Game and No Life. Great series, amazing world building, awesome colors. This is so good, but I'm so conflicted about this one because the guy, the drawer of the original manga
is possibly a plagiarist.
Most likely a plagiarist. I'm not gonna really give him the benefit of the doubt, just considering how he's acted about it. He was accused of tracing other artists' work, and there are a lot of comparisons online where you can see what he drew and what they're saying he traced from. He is not dealing with the situation very well at all. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's hiding away from it. And it's unfortunate because
the innocent usually don't scream and cry and try to hide.
If he had nothing to hide, then he wouldn't hide it. And he would deal with the situation. He would pay fines if necessary, and he would just get back to making his art, which makes me think that he did trace.
Just get an illustrator.
But that's not the issue for me. Like, the issue is not that you traced. Yes, that's a bad thing. Don't do that. But if you're going to do something like that, take responsibility for it, pay any appropriate penalties, and then keep going because you made a really good story, and then you just, because of your legal negligence, you decided that it just stopped.
And we're probably never going to get No Game No Life season 2.
And that's so sad, though, because it was so good. The colors were amazing. The story was so good, and it had so much potential to just go everywhere, and it was so great. And I loved it. I loved everything about it, and then they just took it away. They just stopped.
Tell me about the characters.
I will say that I think Sora and Shiro have a very, very, very heavy dose of arrogance in them, which I did not appreciate. I'm not a fan of arrogance. But what I saw for their future was them moving forward through the world, trying to unite all of the peoples of Disboard together to fight Tet. And I saw that through their whole journey of meeting all 16 races and uniting them all together, that they would grow a healthy sense of humility. I saw them growing humility. I definitely think they need it. And they didn't have it in the first 12 episodes, but I think it would have happened eventually if they had kept going.
Well, this is all speculation. Thank you, original author.
What is his... I'm going to look up his name real quick. But
okay,
the point...
he really loves Stephanie Dola.
Stephanie, I thought, was just very real, very sincere. She tried so hard to be a good princess to her people, and she tried so hard to become a good ruler. And then when she fell short, she didn't really cry about it too much. She went on and did what she could do. And I think people need to realize that not everyone's going to be CEO, not everyone's going to be student council president, but as long as you're doing everything to the best of your ability, then you're doing the right thing. And I appreciated that. I also liked Jibril because she's just a very she's very pretty. I like her. But she's also like I don't know what I like about her. I think it's just that she is kind of a good mix between the personality types of Sora and Shiro versus Stephanie. She balances a really good outside perspective with also this kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Ignorant. Like this kind of just very
empty-headed academic.
Empty-headed academic. Yeah, whatever that word was that they used.
That's what they used.
So it's like, I liked it, and it was very good. I think that if the author, whose name is Yuu Kamiya, if Yuu Kamiya ever decides to deal with these legal issues,
to grow a pair and face reality,
decides to pay the appropriate penalty if he in fact did trace, which I think he did, but just deal with it, because it's a good story, and if you pay the appropriate penalty, you'll be able to keep doing it, and it's great, and I want it to keep going, and I'm really sad that it's not. Favorite character? Stephanie.
Okay, my piece. I think that No Game No Life, it does have very good artwork, very good use of colors,
and good music by...
Yes, the theme song is good.
Konomi Suzuki.
Yes, it is. And I think that the series did have a lot of potential. but I got two humongous problems with No Game No Life. Well, three, but the first one's a small one. First off, No Game No Life is the dumbest title I've ever heard. Really? Okay, just call it Game Over, okay? No one's gonna blame you. But, okay, here's the first problem.
But that doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, yes, it kind of does.
No, it doesn't. No game, no life. If you don't play the game, you don't get to live. That's the thing. Oh. That's literally the rules of the world that they live in.
I thought one of the rules was that you can't kill people with games.
You can't... Living your life doesn't just mean not dying. It means, having a family, providing for your family, growing resources.
Okay.
If you don't play the game, you don't get to live a life other than just living.
Okay. I still think that Game Over would have been a better title, but my biggest problem is twofold. One, it's very similar to the problem I had with Black Butler. If there is absolutely no possibility whatsoever, and I mean zero, of the main characters winning, there's no point of there being a story. There's no point of there being any conflict, because we know how it's gonna end every single time.
But you don't know that. For all you know...
Did they ever lose?
They might have lost if the story kept going. That's the point.
I sincerely doubt that.
I would bet you money. I will bet you this right now. If this series ends up keep going, and they do not lose a single battle for the rest of the series, I will give you $100.
Okay, well, I think... Okay, maybe that's true, but we might never know. But my point is that, for at least in everything I saw from the first series, they never lose, and it's just... A character that can't lose has no inherent drama at all to them, because there's no point in there being any conflict. We know how it's gonna go. And my second problem is also the way that they win. And this really was just right in your face in the episode where Stephanie kept trying to win a game against them. Is that you'd think in a world where games literally decide everything, they'd be a little stricter about what the rules are and how to enforce them. It's a world where everybody cheats, and the only reason why blank wins every time is that they're the best at cheating. There needs to be a set of rules, and there really isn't in No Game, No Life. And I wouldn't complain about that much if, once again, games are everything in this world. I think that even a better title than Game Over would be No Rules, No Game. And I dropped the show before I dropped the show before I saw the coin flipping thing.
I wasn't laughing because I thought
I'm pretty sure that if I had seen that in real life, I would have flipped a table. That is so stupid. And it's like, they need to be able to win, one, they need to be able to lose every once in a while. But two, when they win, they need to do it because they actually genuinely outsmarted their opponent.
Oh no,
and they only do that and the way that they win every time is that they cheat, but they make it seem like we won because we're more intelligent. It was over before it even began. And I just hated it. And I hated their arrogance. I hated the fact that neither of them have any personality other than that they're super smart.
No, I grew Sora, you saw a kindness in Sora.
I saw 1 minute of it, but then it immediately went away, and then it went back to let's embarrass Stephanie Day, which is every day. And I just got so annoyed by No Game No Life, I ended up dropping it, but obviously I'm in the minority here. Alright, any final thoughts on No Game No Life?
I thought that it had so much potential, and I really hope...
I will acknowledge it does have potential.
I really hope that they fix this legal issue and that they can just move on and finish the story that they started, because it's a great story, and I see a lot of potential for it. Alright,